Football channel. You guys know my name, Daniel Harms. For those of you that don't, it's Daniel Harms, and welcome back. I hope that you guys had a great week. It is Red Friday, and I can't begin to tell you guys how extremely excited I am for this game. Now, a few things we're going to get out on the table first. I've had a pretty bonkers day, and I got the in-laws coming for the week. My father-in-law is going to be at the game with myself and my wife, so it's going to be a lot of fun. And I'm hoping to be able to just kind of relax on Saturday, which how everything works with your in-laws doesn't usually work that way. But again, I think that what's going on this week, the Chiefs and the Bills, this is going to be one of those games that I think everybody ends up gravitating towards on Sunday night. It is the Sunday night game, and I can't go through everything. We're going to have a pretty shortish live stream today. But I think the one thing that I'm looking for in this game, among most everything else, is how the Chiefs defense can generate pressure on Josh Allen. Can they keep him in the pocket and force him to not extend plays? Can they generate pressure? Is Chris Jones going to play? If he plays, how much is he going to play? How much is he going to play defensive end? How much is he going to play at defensive tackle? A lot of these things come into this game, and I know the Chiefs are getting healthier, but for me, I'm not entirely sure how they're going to generate pressure. I know that the Bills' offensive line is not the best thing in the world, but they've kept themselves the exact same group that they were last year. So the chemistry is already there. They haven't had to work so much on that. But again, this team has been circling this game ever since the start of the season. If I go through what I've seen from the Bills this year, they came in from the last year doing the exact same stuff against the Steelers. The Steelers are ready for it, and you could tell they were uncomfortable. They've changed things up a little bit. They still run a lot of 11 personnel, but again, we've seen more 12 personnel and some more changing of what they're trying to do, because they can't come out here and run 11 personnel and just play spread offense against this defense, because actually that's what they do best. This Chiefs defense does everything well against a spread offense, because it allows them to play dime. They don't have to worry about the run so much, and they can get after the quarterback. They can rotate safeties. They can bring in three guys, and you can actually get after the quarterback with some of these extra defensive back blitzes and some linebacker blitzes, because Dan Sorensen doubles as a safety and a dime backer. So it kind of unlocks the whole defense. If you guys listen to the Locked On NFL Draft that's not even close to what it is. The Locked On Chiefs podcast, I was on there with Chris today, and one of the things that we talked about specifically was rotating safeties and getting themselves into three safety sets. That's going to be very important. I think that the Bills need to do a better job of getting into 12 personnel and 13 personnel, maybe adding a fullback every now and then, to keep the Chiefs defense honest and keep more linebackers on the field. So that's the big thing I'm looking for on that side of the football. Before we get any further, let's go ahead and talk to you guys. Thank you again for the support, you guys. I love you all being here. I know it's a Friday. Not many of us are going to be jumping in a live stream, but almost 100 in here. I appreciate that. Happy birthday, man. That's awesome. I congratulations. Have a great day. And I hope that this is a great birthday weekend for you, because the Chiefs do play the Bills. And this is one of those games that you can kind of hang your hat on if the Chiefs come out with a victory and say, yeah, they won on my birthday weekend. That'd be pretty cool. Yeah, that's pretty awesome. I am doing great. Thank you. Thank you for being here with me. I appreciate it. Like I said, it's a Friday, so I know a lot of people got other stuff they got to do. So I appreciate you guys being in here with me. We're going to do some questions. I'm probably going to talk more about what I think is going to happen in this game, what I want to happen in this game. But again, yeah, don't be shy. You guys can ask questions if you want to. I'll get to what I can. Don't be upset if I don't get to your question, because this is, like I said, it's going to be more of a free form type of thing. And I'm not going to get to everything, because we don't want to just sit here and ask a bunch of questions and get a ton of answers and not really, get to the point of this game. I definitely will answer questions. We'll obviously have the Monday night question and answer like we always do. So this is going to be a lot of fun. You predict 42-30 Chiefs. Yeah, I've got a close-ish number on the game. I'll let you guys know that at the end. If you've listened to the Locked On Chiefs podcast, then you know what my prediction is. But I think that this is this is a nice prediction. It's pretty close to what I've got. I appreciate you guys very much. So, again, thank you for the support. Appreciate you, William. If Christian's healthy, I would like to see Dana and Clark on the edge with Jones and Reed on the inside. If Jones doesn't go, how do you think it shakes out? If we were just talking about that to open the show, I think if he doesn't play, they're going to have to rotate a ton of, Wharton, I think, in the interior to get you some kind of fast-ish pressure. Jones, I do agree with you. If he's healthy, play him at defensive tackle for the most of the game and let Frank Clark and Mike Dana do what they can to push pressure inwards to make Josh Allen come up. And that's really what I want to see. But if he doesn't, you're talking about one less player on the edge that now they don't have. Obviously, you get back Frank Clark, so that helps. But the guy coming in to rotate to pressure on those third down and obvious situations, those third down longs, that's something that they don't have right now. I think that Wharton and Saunders are okay at that. I think Wharton's better than Saunders is right now at generating pressure in those situations, but they're not in a place right now where they can really be without him. Maybe you see more Frank Clark on the inside rushing from that position if Chris Jones isn't playing. That would be a way you can probably get Frank Clark to get some pressures, to be honest with you. So I would look out for that if I'm you guys watching it. I'm going to be looking for it too if Chris Jones doesn't play. So that's what I think. Hi, everybody. Thank you guys again. Appreciate it on a Friday night. Very much so you guys are in here. And thank you for the constant support. You guys are great. Thank you, Stevie. What do you think about my idea of having Tyreek come off the edge? It was funny. I was at physical therapy earlier and I was talking about I want to see Tyreek be a blitzer. I want to see him use some of that speed and get to the quarterback. That'd be a lot of fun for me. I think you could generate some insane type of pressure very, very fast. Travis playing linebacker would be very much a yes. Give me that. I would also play Josh Gordon as a linebacker because he's a huge guy. He can body up all these tight ends, and that's what I would do. But yeah, Hardman at safety too. It'd be a lot of fun to generate some pressures with these guys and how they know the offensive game. They could see some things happening and kind of react that way. But I think the biggest thing for me would be letting Gordon and Travis both play linebacker, because if Willie's not playing, which I'm not sure that he's going to be, you don't have many linebackers. So that's what I would do. That'd be a lot of fun. That's a great idea, Stevie. You keep those coming. You guys are great. Thank you for the support. Gooch, welcome in. I appreciate you joining me again this week without Ryan. It's the next week's gonna be without Ryan too, so it's gonna be a lot of interesting things going on. I'm hoping to be able to keep you guys interested. Well, if my partner is super chatting, I should too. You guys, I love it. You guys are so great. You guys do so much for Ryan and I, and we're able to do so much because of you guys' support. So again, thank you so much. So one more thing before I get to more of these questions and super chats that I'm looking forward to is, you guys remember, if you were here with me on Wednesday, we went over what the Chiefs do out of that 13 personnel. They did at least four different plays out of 13 personnel, with the runs, with the passes, with the play action, the max protection. What I'm looking for this time is them to bring that exact same play out, but it's Josh Gordon instead of Gray. That's what I want to see. I want to see Josh Gordon in a pseudo 13 personnel. So it's 12, but it looks the same, and you can attack deeper and use different route combinations with a wide receiver. That would be something I really want to see. I know that they're still working things in and things like that, but that 13 personnel grouping is going to be important because this defense of the Bills has not been tested this way with the Chiefs offense the way it is. The running the football, throwing the football, they can do it all. And this is how you're going to see them work the middle of the field, work those linebackers. And especially if Matt Milano's not playing, that's a huge boost for the Chiefs on offense, because Tremaine Edmonds is not a great coverage player. He's actually not that good of a player at all, but he gets a lot of tackles. So people see tackle numbers and they just kind of go for that. You can exploit him in the pass game very, very easily. Mahomes did it a ton he used him a ton in the RPO game. He moved him a lot with his eyes and was able to create a ton of leverage with that. So I think 13 personnel, you're going to see quite a bit, just like you did last week, but they're going to do some different things off of it because they've shown it on tape. And now they're going to continue to show more things that the Bills aren't going to be prepared for. Really challenge a defense that has been playing well, but has not been able, to really do much against a real offense. I think that the best quarterback they've played is Taylor Heineke. I like Taylor Heineke, but he's not a top 2 quarterback. He's not a top 1 quarterback in the NFL. Patrick Mahomes is going to test this defense like it hasn't been tested yet. I know that they're going to come out really pretty pumped up because of the way that this game is played out for them. They've played, 2 times in the last year. This is going to be a different game. It's going to be, in Kansas City like it was in the AFC Championship game. It looks like weather might be an impact as well. And I can tell you right now, the offensive line is completely salivating at the idea that this turns into a run game fest because the Bills can't win a run game fest. We saw it last year in week 6 when they just ran over them. This offensive line's different. They still were able to open up a ton of holes against that Bills team last year. But this offensive line relishes that. They want that kind of thing. They want that challenge, and they want to plant these guys on their butt. And I can't wait to see them if it ends up being that much of a run game. I think Clyde's going to have a day, and the offensive line is going to continue to get that gelling and that confidence. I can't wait to see. Hi, Dan. Yes, thank you, Stevie. I appreciate it very much. You guys are having a great time. I'm having a great time. Yes, the high is very much appreciated. Again, Gooch, I appreciate you being here. All the guys in here. Yes, I was hoping to be able to answer in the spirit of the joke because it honestly, it's a great idea. It's a great concept. It's fun to just think about. So that's definitely what I'm going towards. I'm trying to have more fun with these kind of things, not necessarily take everything so seriously because sometimes I know that I can get into the zone, answer all the questions exactly the way they should be. But let's just have some fun with it. Play a little off cuff. All right, and if you guys, again, we're going to do some questions. So if you want to ask some questions, please put the question marks in front so I can pick them out. Otherwise, I'm probably going to skip over it because this is my second time working the comment section. So I do appreciate you guys being here and just working through this. So I'm going to be able to, here's one perfect example. Thank you very much, Pata. If I'm saying that wrong, I apologize. If Frank Clark is back, shouldn't we move Chris Jones back inside and let Dan and Okafor rotate? Yeah, I think we answered that kind of the same question. Yeah, I think that you should move him more inside, but I don't think he's going to only play from defensive tackle in this game. If he plays, he's going to still play defensive end because this season, essentially, that's what he has been on the first 2 downs. He's been a defensive tackle. A defensive end. I would agree, start Thornhill. With this offense, the way that they're playing, I think you have to, but they're going to come out, I think, with 2 tight ends and try to run the ball a little bit. And that's where you're going to see Juan Thornhill not on the field. And I don't understand it. I can't tell you if, like I said, if you guys watched my Juan Thornhill video earlier this week, you know that his knee has been the source of him not playing so much this year. So let's just hope that it's getting back together and they've been kind of resting him for this game against the Bills. Thank you for the support, William. If Juan is good, does it allow for more cover 3? So the Chiefs don't play a whole lot of cover 3 to begin with, but what it allows them to do is play more of the cover 1 robber and the cover 2 where you have Matthew sitting in the hole in between the 2 deep safeties, which is what he's best at. You have Juan Thornhill as the deep safety back. You can have Matthew as that robber in the cover 1, and then when you have the ability to play 3 safeties on the field, that's where Spags gets more creative. He can bring Matthew and bring Sorensen down into the box, make them both go back, rotate Juan from deep safety over to one side and make one of those safeties come back, or even drop one of the slot corners to really confuse the quarterback's eyes. That's what he wants to do. That's where he wants to be. That's where Spags wants to be. So, I mean, that's ideally what they want to be in. And the way that the Bills play offense, if they come out with their spread offense, this defense can actually play well. So we'll see if they come out and do that. I don't think we're going to see it as much unless they get behind. And in that case, that's where the Chiefs really have the ability to go off. One more thing I want to go through with some of the things that I'm really looking forward to in this game and kind of keying on is who are the Bills going to take away? Okay. They are going to take somebody away regardless of Josh Gordon playing or not. That's the reality of this offense. You have to say mentally, you have to consciously take the effort to say Travis Kelce or Tyreek Hill in this day and age in football. The last couple of years hasn't been so obvious because the targets and the way that defenses have played them have shown that defenses don't necessarily have to do that. This year, the way that they've produced, you have to. And it's shown. Game 1, no one did anything in terms of taking guys away. Travis Kelce and Tyreek Hill both went off. The next two games, you see teams actively take away Tyreek Hill. So they go everywhere else and they still move the ball. And I think that the most effective way would be to bracket Tyreek Hill, take him away as much as you can, and force the Chiefs to go down the field slowly but surely. That's where they seemed to have had those bumps in the road and got those turnovers, because something happened. I'm like I said, I don't think it was anything to do with them bracketing Tyreek Hill, but those were the two games where you saw the turnovers happen. And then against the Eagles, I don't know what the changeup was, but they decided to play two deep safeties and kind of be physical with Travis Kelce and just opened up Tyreek Hill whenever he wanted to. And those times where they rotated the safety on one safety to the middle and let Tyreek Hill be one-on-one outside with Steven Nelson, that was just the dumbest thing they could ever have done for the Eagles, and it just continuously paid off for the Chiefs. So who are they going to take away? Are they going to take away Travis? Are they going to take away, Hill? With Matt Milano probably playing injured, my understanding is that they'll probably take away Tyreek Hill and try to play a little bit more safety help to Travis Kelce's side. And then if that happens, Josh Gordon is going to have a day. If he plays much, he's going to have a day. And I think that you can really attack these safeties with McCole Hardman deep down the field, something that they've been really doing. And I'm hoping that they do a good job of exploiting the team that takes away some of these guys. So again, if you guys don't know, I will be at the game on Sunday. If you're going to be there, make sure, come say hi. I'll be in the section 327. So if you want to come see me, just go ahead. I'll always interact with you guys as much as I can. So let's see here. We got one more question here. Thank you, Mez. Is this a week we get to see if the Chiefs are just building up Thornhill or Spags doesn't trust him? I think that if you guys, were just joining me, or I just talked about, I think his knee has been the biggest issue. Not so much that they don't trust him, but they're not sure about the knee yet. We're not going to really know until later in the season. I think this is a game that they have been working him up for. But again, we're going to have to see how it gets on the field, how they play. If the Bills come out and spread it out, yeah, you're going to see more Juan Thornhill. I 100% believe that. That's how they want to play. That's how they're going to play. But if this turns into the Bills doing different things than they did last year and doing different things than they did in week one, you're going to see a bit more maybe understanding. You're going to see a little bit more two tight end sets, and that's going to force the Chiefs to continue to play with more linebackers on the field and continue to play with Dan Sorensen and Tyrann Mathieu, just because I'm not sure why they don't want to play Juan Thornhill by himself with Mathieu. So that's still the thing for me that's confusing. We're going to find that out in the next couple weeks if he's ready to go. All right. So if Ward plays, I assume he's going to play, but I don't think that he's going to be like solely on Diggs. But it wouldn't surprise me because Steve Spagnuolo prefers, I guess, to put some of his worst players in positions like that and help them out with safety help over top. That's just an interesting concept. So I think that Ward playing definitely helps them a little bit. You got Hughes and Baker in situations to be more comfortable and get those playing reps, and something that Baker hasn't had the last couple of years. So I think that that's definitely helpful for him going forward. But having Ward back, I think just, in and of itself is going to be helpful. All right, guys. So one of the things I think that comes into the play in this game is there's been a lot of talk about getting turnovers and a lot of trash talk from the fans on both sides. So what it comes down to for me, the Bills have been up and coming the last year. Josh Allen took a huge step last year, and this year he's kind of taken a road backward, if I'm being honest. I think that he's been a little not as good as he was last year. And that's just because the way defenses are playing him, trying to make him take the short way down the field. Mahomes adjusted to that a little bit, but you also saw he struggled with that at sometimes too last year. This is where the Chiefs can really attack him. If you could force him to try to just dink and dunk his way down the field, that's where they're going to find their way to win this game. And that last week against the Eagles, yeah, they got their big plays and they had some very big plays, but they were able to hunker down in the red zone a little bit better than they have in the past couple weeks. That's always going to be positive going forward. I think they can build on that a little bit. And if you see them in more nickel and dime in this game, that's going to help them out as well. As long as they're not having 3 linebackers on the field, if Willie's not playing, that's really what this is going to come down to. I think the ability to slow down Josh Allen is going to be focused on making him go the long way, like they did last year, like they did the 2 games last year. That's exactly what you have to do, in my opinion. And I think that they're still equipped to be able to do that. So this defense hasn't been great this year, but this is a game I'm going to say I'm willing to bet they come ready to play against the Bills, unlike they have to start the year. Yeah, Scott, I don't think it'll be a shutout at all. That's just not how this defense is constructed. It's not really possible. And I do think that the Chiefs are a little bit underestimated, but the way they've played defense this year, most people have every right to think what they want to about the Chiefs defense because they haven't come to play. I do think they'll come to play, but I don't believe it's going to be a shootout. Thank you for the question, Doctor Who. Do you or one of the rogues have a white pickup truck? I do not have a white pickup truck. I don't think anybody else does. If anyone does, you guys can let them know. But I live like an hour away, and I drive a Subaru, so that's definitely not what I drive. Let's just see what we got cooking down here with Stevie. I'd put a defensive end on Tyreek, slam him in. I mean, as much as the idea makes sense, Tyreek would just sidestep him and run away. So that's that's exactly what Tyreek, or he would step back and then go because the defensive end can't step up. So, all right, thank you for the question, Bono. Will the Chiefs run more, or will they be able to pass it at will? They're going to be able to do whatever they want, in my opinion, just because of the way they've constructed the offensive line, the way that this game looks to be shaping up as a weather game. It's going to help this offensive line move people because you can't anchor as a defensive tackle as well in slippery condition. That's just an obvious fact. It's still going to be definitely passing the ball is what the Chiefs want to do. But the last couple of weeks, you've seen the balanced offense. The balanced offense makes them more efficient, and it takes some of the things off of Patrick Mahomes' plate. Being able to run the ball, and it shrinks the field for him a little bit. He doesn't have to get the big chunk plays now. They can run the ball. So I think that there's a really good chance here for the Chiefs to get Clyde continuous with that 100-yard game. Another 100-yard game, another confidence booster, and give this offensive line more fodder for them to continuously gain that chemistry. We're seeing it get better and better week after week, and this is another game with an opponent that everyone says can beat not everybody, but a lot of people can say can come into Arrowhead and beat the Chiefs. And this is a day, on Sunday night, where the offensive line can definitely establish themselves and get push and get movement and really make things easy on Patrick Mahomes. Hi, Dad. What's going on? Can't we expect any defensive scoring this week? I do think you might be able to get one because, Matthew, I think, is going to be able to play his best game. And much like he did against the Ravens. When the Ravens came out and they were throwing the ball for some reason all over the yard in the first quarter of that game, that was what they wanted them to do. I think that the Bills might go against some of their better instincts and throw the ball a little bit more. You're going to see the Chiefs be able to play that cover 2 robber, get him in what they call the rat hole, where you have the 2 safeties and then have Matthew here. I think that's best for him. He can read the quarterback, he can read the eyes and see the play unfold. And I think you're going to have a couple opportunities to get some of those interceptions for touchdowns, possibly fumble recoveries, because Josh likes to take the ball and hold on a little bit too long. So someone might be able to rip one of those away and go get a touchdown with it. Thank you for the question, Caden. Why is Hughes blocking these amazing wide receivers like Williams against the Chargers and Smith against the Eagles? I think they're just not giving him the opportunity to do his best. Playing physically at the line of scrimmage and jamming these receivers is what he should be doing. But in reality, he's the most experienced guy on the outside without Charvarius Ward. That's just the cut and dry of it. I think that Baker could give them a little bit more, but that's still something that is my own opinion, and the Chiefs staff has not really put much faith in him to do that. So that's what I would do. I would let him jam a little bit more and be more physical at the line of scrimmage, which is what he's done in the past. It's been successful. It's why he was drafted as high as was. He's got those long arms. Let him use them. That's what I would do. So as we're getting down to the 25-minute mark here, I'm going to go ahead and give you guys my prediction, because this, like I said, since I'm going to be at this game, we're not going to have the live stream after. I do apologize. I'm not going to be able to make it back from the Sunday night game and be able to get a live stream for you guys. But like I said, Monday we'll answer all the questions. We'll go over everything. I'll have some mental notes because I'm not going to take a notebook with me, especially if it's raining. This game is going to come down to a lot. I think it's going to be close near the end. Okay. Like at the end. But I don't think it's going to be that way most of the game. I do think the Bills are going to go against some of their better instincts and try to, they should be trying to run the ball more, and they should be trying to keep the Chiefs in their 3 linebacker sets as much as they possibly can. But their tight ends don't threaten anywhere except for in the red zone. That's just the cold hard truth of it. They're going to try to play a little bit more 12. I think they're going to try to bring more bodies out there, maybe play 2 running backs. But at the end of the day, they're going to find themselves down at some point. They're going to panic just a little bit because it always seeps into these head coaches who, with a quarterback like Josh Allen, just let him go throw the ball. Let him go throw the ball. Just spread it out and let him go to make a play. And it will play right into the Chiefs' defense hands. It's not a great defense. They're still finding their footing. They're getting healthier, and I think they're going to be able to play their best dime defense in this game and allow themselves to get some turnovers, especially if it's a bit rainy, if they're behind because the Chiefs are going to run the ball so well. That's what's going to happen. The rain has made me change my opinion on the score, though. I did think it was going to be 38-31. I said yesterday before I found out about the rain. I still think the Chiefs are going to put up 35 points. Like I just think that that's what they're going to do. And I don't know if the Bills can hang. I think that they're going to have, this is going to look much like the AFC Championship game in terms of the Chiefs are going to get those points out. They're going to get out early and they're going to out often. And the Bills are going to have to dink and dunk their way down the field. They're going to find themselves on a couple 3rd and longs and just not be able to convert it. So I think 35 and 28 at the end is what I'm going with. But it's going to be a lot of fun. And so to wrap it all up, we're going to answer a few more questions and then we'll get you guys out of here to enjoy the rest of your night. Thank you for the question, Benjamin. Will Chris Jones play on Sunday? I don't know. He's questionable right now. I think that it could go either way. I would anticipate him playing to some extent, if not at least active, and just kind of rotating in a pass rush situations. Maybe he's got a club on his wrist. I'm not entirely sure. So I would expect some level of playing. Thank you for the question again, Ms. If it's raining, will CH go for 150? And is that an advantage for the Chiefs or the Bills? Yeah, if it's raining, this is almost like the biggest advantage the Chiefs could have had coming into this game. It allows them to establish the run and allows them to establish this offensive line, the physicality that they can play with. I don't think the Bills can match that physicality, even with some of the new defensive additions that they have. I don't think they can compete with the physicality this offensive line is bringing. And I do think 150 is on the table for him again. I think that's definitely possible. I'm tired of hearing experts claiming Bills drafted or put more pressure on Mahomes. It just sometimes you have to ignore what the media says. Like I find myself turning off ESPN, NFL Network most of the time during the week, just because most of them don't actually know what they're talking about. You think that you catch a little tidbit of information on Twitter, you say, oh, maybe he knows what he's talking about. And then, you listen to a segment and, oh, he doesn't really have a clue. So I just kind of try to drown most of it out. Thank you for the question, Chris. Any updates on what happened to Willie Gay today? I don't have any clue. I just know that right now with his mental health is the most important thing, and take care of himself. I don't necessarily care so much about the football side until he gets himself right. So again, everyone deals with some type of mental stress every single day. And to some degree, athletes can have it a little bit worse. I know that that's not really common knowledge. It's not something that a lot of people think about, but the pressures that are put on guys, especially in Willie Gay's situation, the best linebacker on this team, a lot of outside factors in his personal life, maybe, but that all it comes down with the pressure that he puts on himself to play for this team and kind of the pressure that the fan base has put on him to save this defense. So a lot of stuff goes on. Just hope the best for him and that he gets himself straightened out. Thank you for the question, Norman. What are you most looking forward to seeing Josh Gordon before? I want to see Josh Gordon win a 50-50 ball. I don't care when it is. I don't care where it is on the field. I want to see him win a 50-50 ball in one-on-one coverage where they bracketed Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce, because that will put everybody on notice. There's no more ways that you can defend this Chiefs offense. They're going to run the ball at will. They're going to throw it to whoever they want to. And with the addition of Josh Gordon, he can win those 50-50 balls, and they have confidence in the fact that he'll do it. That's it. I want it. That's all I want to see. Thank you again, Stevie. Appreciate it. If I could actually get the bandwidth to do it, I might, but we're going to be trying to leave. I'm going to have, like I said, I'm going to have my father-in-law there too. It's not going to be the greatest situation to live stream from the event, or I would. If it was just me and my wife going, I'd probably do it, but I don't want to keep him there longer than he has to be. He's a Bills fan, so I don't think he wants to be there much longer than he's going to have to. All right, just a couple more questions here, and then we'll get out. Thank you for the question, WW. Dan, do you think the Bills will continue to play the Chiefs deep like everybody else has? Do you think they'll man up and maybe think they're good enough to? I want them so badly to think that they're good enough to cover him one-on-one. That I want that to happen. That would be so much fun, and I think that you could really realistically see Tre'Davious White getting smoked by Tyreek Hill. I think that Tre'Davious White's great. I don't think he can keep up with Tyreek Hill. I want to see it. I want to see them get that kind of confidence. But no, I don't think that they have any intention of manning up and just going with it. Thank you, Showtime. How loud do you think Arrowhead would be, and do you wear earplugs? No, Arrowhead's going to be loud, and no, I don't wear earplugs. I go to NASCAR drag races, like I'm not NASCAR. I go to drag races, and I don't wear earplugs there too. So the loudness isn't going to bother me, and it definitely isn't going to bother anybody there. We all just kind of go and have a great time. Lego, my ego. Did Spags move Chris Jones for this game? Oh, we got a visitor. Hi. Come here. Oh. All right. So, does Spags move Chris Jones for this game? I think that's probably more what you're looking for. But I think if he plays more, then I do think that he'll play more defensive tackle. That's kind of what I'm hoping for. So, one more question, then we'll get Avery out of here so she can go to bed. Thank you, John. There was a video about Patrick to Gordon for a 60-yard pass. Did you see it? I didn't see it. And honestly, I'm a little happy I didn't, because that would make my expectations go through the roof. But kind of knowing that it's there does give me a little bit of that. Can you say bye to everybody?
Bye.
Good job. Well, there she goes. All right. All right. One last question. Thank you, Info. How come we rarely see hard run deep routes? This is something I've been hypothesizing. I think that they're keeping it in for later. I think that they're doing a lot of different things with not just the run game, but the 13 personnel and getting more tight ends in there, and with Tyreek as well as McCole Hardman. And they've run some backward, some end arounds and some reverses. And one of these times they're going to hit them over the top with McCole Hardman coming out fast and hot. I do think that they're going to do that more later in the season, but right now they've had to show teams that they can dink and dunk their way down the field. And McCole Hardman's one way you can very, very easily do that. They don't need to use him as a decoy. They can use him in the short parts of the field and let him get 10, 15 yards in some of these runs. And then they can lull him to sleep, hit him over the top with McCole Hardman. That's what I think is going to happen. So I do think that they're going to run more later in the season, but they have to show teams that they can do whatever they want to. They don't have to use McCole Hardman as a decoy. All right. Thank you, Ready Web. Do you think Tyreek is going to want to be the highest paid receiver in the league next year? Whew, that's an excellent question. I think Tyreek knows where his bread's buttered. He's a great receiver with the greatest quarterback in the NFL. I do think you're seeing the defense being an issue is something that they're going to have to be, have to resolve. The only way to do that is with money. You're going to have to hope the cap goes up. And I do think that Tyreek's going to get some semblance of a pay raise, but I think that he's willing to maybe take some of that back to stay on the team, to stay with this team, and hopefully just kind of take a little bit more of a team-friendly deal. We'll see how it pays out. Thank you again, Lego. Well, we're going to finish up a few questions here, and then we will get on out. I think we will see more of Smith and company moving, getting to the second level of the defense to open up the running lanes. So, yeah, I think that's what they've done a great job of the last couple of weeks in getting more to the second level. That's why you're seeing Clyde run into these holes and not be touched for 5, 10, 15 yards. They're doing a very good job of letting him get into space and finding those lanes and getting through to the second and third levels of the defense. So, yes, I do think that everybody up front, most specifically, Creed Humphrey is helping these guys open up within the second level more than everybody else. I think Smith gets a little bit tied into his physicality sometimes and wants to take guys to the ground and doesn't get off of his double quick enough. That's just it's gonna move. It's gonna it's gonna keep going. There, he's gonna get better at it, and they're doing a great job. So it's definitely working for them. They're doing a better job and holding on to everybody in terms of keeping up those holes. I think is going to be great for this run game. Thank you for the question, John. If it didn't stay long on YouTube, sorry, I'm not really sure what's saying right there. I apologize, guys. I don't know what that one was. Thank you, Cole. Who are you more confident in, Ward or Hughes? I'm more confident in. Oh man, that's a tough one. I'm more confident in Ward to play what he's done best. But if you're not letting him play physically at the line of scrimmage, give me Hughes. He's got better short area quickness. And that's just what it is. All right, guys. Again, thank you guys so much for joining me on this Friday night. My prediction is 35-28. I think we're going to probably see some different things considering weather, probably more field goals and then that sort of thing. So that around that area is where I do think the Chiefs are going to score a lot of points, and it wouldn't surprise me to see them want to come out and throw the ball early and establish themselves, being able to do whatever they want to and turn to the run later. So if you guys want to, you go ahead and put your score predictions in the comment section when the video goes on YouTube, and we can just have a great weekend thinking about how many different times the Chiefs are going to score and what different ways they're going to score, because I do think you're going to see a lot more personnel switches. You're going to probably see a deep shot or two to McCole Hardman, to maybe Josh Gordon, I'm hoping. So, yeah, I appreciate, again, you guys for all the support. 200 people in here tonight on a Friday. Such a great turnout. And I, again, from the bottom of my heart, appreciate you guys. We're going to have more stuff coming next week. I will be doing most of everything again. We'll see if I can get on with Seth on Thursday. And Monday, got the Q&A. I'll have a video Tuesday. I'll have maybe another live stream film review on Wednesday. We'll see how it goes. But if you guys want to have that happen, then we will definitely find ways to get that going. I hope to see some of you guys on Sunday night at the game. And if not, make sure you stay safe, have a great night, and enjoy the Chiefs win, because I do think they are going to. You guys have a great night.